All right, family. Are we ready?
Let's get it.
Okay.
We're all good. Ready to roll.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm pausing it, and then I'm going to start it again so that we know where the break is. Here we go. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for subscribing to the NASA family. This is the first of many NASA family chats. Today, I am joined by my cousin, Derek May, also known as Reverend Newsy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. How y'all doing today?
Sure. And my partner in love and business, Amir Bayena, also known as Amir Days.
Yo, what's goody? Love is love. We out here.
Me, yours truly, is Michaela Paget, also known as Mickey LaDawn. Today's conversation, we're going to focus on the essence of being an artistpreneur, what we've learned in 2022, and what we are bringing into 2023. Tonight, this week, is the final full moon of 2022, so we're using this energy and the good vibes in the air to bring ourselves together from Atlanta to LA and to your screen right now to have this conversation. To kick us off, I'm going to ask my cousin. I got my first question for you. Hope you're ready. We're going to get this ball rolling with everybody here together to enjoy. So, what do you see as the best part about pursuing life as an artistpreneur? And then a follow-up, what is the hardest?
Man, I feel like it's the same answer for both of them. And it's like you not knowing what to expect. You know, that's the thing about it. Because it's a lot of beautiful things that can come out of it too. And a lot of like hardships that can come out of it, you know. But it's the journey of it all that makes it worth it. The continual build and seeing where you're at, like from the beginning and where you can be, you know, just like the continual progression of it all. But you don't know what to expect. So it's like, it makes it super hard on you sometimes. It's like you can be expecting the absolute best, but your anxiety kick in, you know what I mean? You start expecting the absolute worst too at the same time. So, you know, you just gotta be mindful of staying positive as you possibly can because you don't know what to expect. So do your best to expect the best.
I love that. For some reason, it makes me think of the Miley Cyrus song, The Climb. It's the climb.
I get it.
Hannah Montana, shout out.
That's my girl.
Shout out to Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana.
What about you? What do you see as the best part about being an artistpreneur and the hardest?
Yeah, freedom is the answer to both. I think the best part is that flexibility with your time and just being able to really craft your life and have an open canvas. But at the same time, when you have moments of being idle, you know, they say that, you know, the enemy loves the idle mind. So I think that's where it can get difficult, just when it comes down to how you utilize that freedom responsibly.
Yeah. I think both of y'all, you know, the whole essence of the hustle, right? The whole essence of perseverance is pretty consistent. And I would say the same thing as well. Like when I think about the best and the hardest part, they really are kind of one and the same for me too. It's that every day wake up, the best part of the freedom of it all, right? And knowing that you can make your decision and how you want to live your day, start your day, end your day, exactly how you see fit. You don't really have to answer to anybody else, especially when you're relying on your own creative morals and your own creative gifts, rather. Laurels, I think that was the word I was thinking of. But that whole essence of being a creative, you know, we get a bad rap. People say, oh, creatives, they're so creative, but they don't get anything done. And that's what the whole essence of being an artistpreneur challenges. the world and challenges yourself. Because when I live in my creative state, I'm able to think of all these amazing and beautiful things I can do and I can make money from, and I can live in this essence in my mind. But that whole energy, and what makes it the hardest part, is bringing it down and manifesting it in this 3D world and 3D plane. Like, you know, for example, it took me almost a year to paint this picture behind me. It's an amazing art piece, you know, once it's done, but that whole process of completing it is, you know, part of the hardest part of it all too. So love that. Love that. I would say, even to kind of consider an additional part of being an artistpreneur, is the balance of it all too. You know, a big thing that 2022, when we talk about angel numbers, 222, two is the number of balance. So amplified by 3, all of this year was for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, and you watching at home, was the essence of how we find balance. We're 2 years away from 2020. The twos are all the way amplified now. What does it mean to live a balanced life? What does it mean to know who you are and be strong in that? And then, you know, share that with others. So I want to ask you guys, whoever wants to go first with this question, what do you define as balance as an artistpreneur?
Balance, balance, find a new balance.
Take it first, brother.
Yes, Lord, yes, Lord. Is that marriage of, you know, the science of business and the art of culture? You know, I came up with that when I was kind of starting my journey, officially kind of crafting my own life in canvas. And it's all right. Again, shout out to, you know, this being a year where we want to, again, secure major contracts, you know, coming in the new year, you know what I'm saying? Contract year, shout out to all of that. You feel me? We getting into that mode where it's like, okay, you really want to, you know, be about your business. You want to see the numbers. You want to see your hard work reflecting your bank account. So that's like the science of the business. But at the same time, there's certain intangibles that make you feel fulfilled. And, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to art and culture, it's like, you like, shout out to AI and all the advancement. And it's a delicate territory with it. You can't really replace a human soul. At least that's you know, I think a concept a lot of us would agree with today. You know, obviously, you know, the intelligence gets smarter, and, you know, you got movies like I, Robot, where it's okay, does the robot develop feelings? But at the end of the day, you bring it back to just our current reality and what I know and what I understand. And it's that you could, you know, achieve all the accolades in the world, but if there isn't that level of creativity that you're able to really feel and embrace, and like just that personality that you're able to bring to whatever you're doing, you know, just so it's like it's you're not robotic with it. And being able to have that one of one energy, even as, you know, compete, you know, you want to get the accolades, the followers, the dollars, whatever, that's cool. But you know, what's going to be the mark that you leave? You know, whether it's like a cool thing like an ad lib, or it's your fashion, it's your style. Um, I think finding a balance between those two worlds is difficult, because, you know, again, like, we want, even like, you know, as we start this journey on YouTube in a new way, in a new chapter, you know, we definitely want to, you know, experience success and have traction. And, you know, there are different awards that people have in the YouTube world, as far as, oh, you were able to get this many views for whatever reason. And again, obviously, you know, all the major award shows, there's controversy around that. Whether it's the right way of judging art in the landscape of it. So it's just like, you know, putting respect on those things and letting those things, you know, motivate you and drive you to an extent, because it is cool to be a part of a greater community and achieve certain accolades. Like, wow, I went number one. You know, that is a cool thing to put on your vision board. But at the same time, on your, how do you keep your soul intact? How do you keep your, like, you know, that real part of you just there when you go through all of this journey? Again, how you, like, basically not sell your soul or whatever. But
Yeah. because you're
Yeah.
talking about the duality of it all. That's where that you find that balance of being a human versus being, a productive human, or being successful, being a, spiritually successful person. It's like all that energy becomes difficult even to find balance just as a everyday person in this new world, in this age that we live in. So I hear you on that, definitely. News, what do you
So
feel?
for sure.
Um, I definitely feel like is a lot of numbers and a lot of things that we try to like compete with, and it kind of like take away from the essence of us being ourselves and balance out being a productive person as well. Um, I don't know. For me, the balance of it all, like I feel like it's trying to structure even more than just that. It's everything, in total of balancing out your family with your possible financial goals, with your possible what you want to do musically, with what you want to do, how you want to connect to people, but on top of that, what you want to do, numbers wise on stuff like that. So like, I don't know, trying to build in a way that's consistent. I feel like the balance of it all, if everything is properly balanced and everything is consistent, then everything will move along right, just like how you want it to. The accolades and everything else like that will come, and it'll be coming at a time when it's supposed to come, in a divine timing, as opposed to if you're moving too fast, you're putting all your eggs in this one balance, in this one basket, and your family life is suffering, or your financial life is suffering because you're too busy focused on this. Says in the Bible, a false balance is abomination to the Lord. So like,
Mm.
if you're
Say that
not
again. Say that again.
managing, it says false balance is abomination to the Lord. So
Mm.
it's like you're not holding it down in the full circle. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you might be cool over here, but like if it's slipping over here, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna have the structure that you need to really, you know. So that's, I don't know, it's a struggle. I still haven't figured it out. Still
Yeah.
haven't figured it out. I'm trying, working on it. And it's like it's everyday consistent work and not complaining about that everyday consistent work. It's just getting that stuff done. And the human thing to do is it's not even a human thing to do. It's the nowadays thing to do is to complain. The 2022 version is to complain about it. Oh, but we just gotta find a way. There's a way to do it. There's a way to balance it all out. There's a way to make it. It won't be perfect, but it can be as perfect as you want it to be, as you will it to be, if you're willing to put in the work for it. That's just the work, the constant work, the family work, the music work, this life is work.
Yeah. And I think
Praise.
part of that, just that constant work, and what you're even saying about like how we're so quick to complain or maybe even go to social media. Because like, I'm not to get too off track, but I think the essence of being an artistpreneur, that is so important. Even just being an entrepreneur is social media, right? You want to be able to market yourself. That's why we have created a YouTube channel, not only to help others, but to also, help ourselves. Let's keep it real. That's the essence of going to social media, right? So even that social currency, or that social, can't think of the word for it right now, but that whole essence of like, oh, I go to social media to celebrate my wins and to complain. There's really not
Yep.
an in between of just
Yep.
talking about the everyday work. Some people have cracked that code, and I think the people that have cracked that are the ones that we look to for inspiration, right? Are the ones that are making a certain
That's
amount of money. But
that's a heavy
even
statement.
then, those people, there are people out there. When the more I've gone into this entrepreneurship journey, the more I realize that, oh wow, there's some people that don't tell you the full essence of it. There are going to be some days that the only person that you can trust or rely on is yourself. you know, or there are some moments that come up that you have to rely on your own perseverance to get through and to push through, and to remember that you're not defined by numbers, you're not defined by other people's opinions, you're only defined by what you think of yourself and what the spirit in you, God Almighty, thinks of you. And that's what it all comes down to. Whatever word you use for God Almighty, that's what you find true essence, and that's what you find true, you know, wealth in. I want to be mindful of time, and there are two more questions that come up that I think are going to keep us still in a good time frame. The word I just brought up, start there, wealth. What do you guys define as wealth? You know, I was just talking about what we consider wealth and everything, but I want to get your thoughts on it, right? There's wealth in the spiritual, there's wealth in the physical, there's wealth in the mental, and all these different ways that artistpreneurs, people in general, right, that we define wealth as. So for me, I'll just say briefly, like when I think of wealth, my wealth comes down to my spirit, my wealth comes down to the people around me. Being someone that is a Taurus and someone that likes the finer things, and is also, you know, motivated by the finer things in life and wanting to achieve a certain level of my own, you know, peace, my own nice things around me, not necessarily for other people. So when I think of wealth, that is what comes down to me. I want to be in a place, in an environment that feels like a reflection of me. I want friends that feel like a reflection of me. And I feel like I want to be around others and be in a space that makes me feel a level of wealth that is only defined by how I feel about myself. So it's not really about the dollars, it's not really about the accolades, although those are beautiful things. At the end of the day, wealth is really what I define as my peace of mind. So that's me, but I'll go ahead and pass it on to News. You want to go ahead and share what your thoughts are about wealth? Oh, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I mean, my definition of it changed a lot, you know. It's like for a time, it's like, okay, just having enough, having more than enough to sustain, you know, just on a financial scale. But it's so much deeper than that. It's the relationships that you have between your family, most importantly, the relationship that you have with yourself, you know, and it comes down to knowledge and your ability to execute on that knowledge is what real deal wealth is to me. You know, it's being able to have the network and have the self-worth to execute on that network. On top of that, you know, to execute with that network, you know. But
yeah,
yeah, still working on that wealth. You know, the full wealth part. You know, I'm trying to get all the way there.
And that balance word comes back into it.
Absolutely. But as long, I mean, low key, not even that. Like having that, you just gotta recognize when you're having it. You know, even if it's not like to the level, you know, that you want it to be. You want to be in this crazy mansion and this place, but at the end of the day, long as you do have a shelter, as long as you do have people around you, you know what I'm saying? You got to see it through to that point. Yeah, I'm having that. I'm having that for sure. We just working on some more.
That's right.
That's
we have everything we need.
Exactly. Everybody we
need. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think just to unpack the concept of health as well, you know what I'm saying? Just one time let that speak for itself. It's like a level of embracing your journey at a pace where, again, that divine compass is really guiding you for real. And like at every step of the way, if possible, you're tuning in with that voice, you're able to listen to that inner voice and discern. And I think what we all learn, again, when it comes down to self-love, is that when we love ourselves at the highest level, we realize that the Most High connects us all. And even when we feel like we might be alone, that's one of the greatest gifts, to appreciate not only our personal experience, because again, we came in this world as individuals, we live this experience with free will as individuals, and we craft our own paradise for, the experience that's after this.
Yeah.
So, just really being aware, that the journey is what it's about, and not getting so caught up in the destination. We really finding that happiness and fulfillment on the journey. I think is where we really find the wealth. And all these great people. Definitely shout out to J. Cole one time. I remember when he was performing For Your Eyes Only, and I got to see him out in LA. So what I'm saying, definitely shout out to Newsy being out there in LA holding it down. Yes, sir. It was I think very powerful message that he was delivering with that tour. And even like 2014 Forest Hills Drive, and just going back home. And so many different creators that we respect. Obviously shout out to Kendrick Lamar in so many different ways. And how he's been a voice, you know, just reminding us that, we all are our own saviors and not just looking to these people in culture. Cause I think we could all just want to rise to a certain level of like, oh, me being wealthy, doesn't mean as much if people don't know I got the money. And I think that's the dangerous part when money becomes the root of all evil. Yeah. I think, ideally you get to a point where you can accumulate that wealth and you not really have that desire that gets at you is like, oh, I gotta flash this. And again, when we talk about the communities that we're a part of, I know we all know people that, deal with these temptations. So, again, just really being able to come back to that version of health and, just tap in with the realness of what a successful day looks like and be like, you know what, instead of, me getting all them likes on that post today, really me being successful was like, oh yeah, I did a workout. It wasn't easy, but I felt good after it. Or what I'm saying, maybe I made myself a good meal. And that's a feeling because I put my creativity and my love into it, and I was able to enjoy it with loved ones or family, or maybe even enjoy it with yourself, and being able to tap into those multiple versions. So, indeed, just health as well for sure.
Beautiful, Golden.
Yo.
So before we close things out, I got one more question for us. This whole discussion has been about being an artistpreneur in 2022, what we're taking into this next year. All the three of us are all in our mid-20s right now. So, we're in this pivotal point in our lives. Some people might even say the 20s are your defining decade. So those of you that are watching right now, if you fall in that, 17 to 29, 17, 30 age range, we just want to give you some nice words of wisdom to close out your year and give you some inspiration about what you can leave behind. And I hope that this conversation was beneficial for you. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe. We're going to keep on uploading every Sunday. When we talk about consistency, we talk about balance, we talk about perseverance. That's what we're holding us to. So if you're a subscriber, hold us accountable. And if you watch this video, please make sure that you put a rocket emoji in your comment. We want to see y'all. We want to get to know you guys. So thanks again for tuning in. And like I said, if you have anything that even you would like for us to talk more about when we talk about this defining decade, we talk about what it means to be in your mid-20s, please pass it along. We want to have the conversation with you guys. With all that being said, let's go into what our last question, what our last discussion point is before we close out this conversation. So guys, considering what 2022 has been, the year of balance, the year of all these different things we've been talking about, what are you bringing into the new year and what are you leaving behind? Whoever wants to go first.
Man, for me, I feel like just got to bring a certain level of intensity into 2023 and leaving behind the procrastination.
Yeah.
2022, just the intensity And whatever it is that's needing to be accomplished, that's it. That's it. Just like uh, I don't know how to define the focus. It's a certain term that goes with it, but laser focus on goal A. Goal A gets accomplished. Okay, laser focus on goal B. All right, after that, then C and then D and then just knocking stuff out continually, day by day, step by step. I think that's it. Diligently and consistently.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, Mickey, you want to go ahead and chime in real quick on your thoughts and energy on 2023's? Yeah, what you bringing in, what you leaving behind?
Yeah, sure. So, for me, it is pretty similar to what News said. Something we were talking about even before this conversation was growing up, I used to joke and be like, whereas a badge of honor putting the pro in procrastinator. Like that was just something to be proud of. And you at home might be watching this right now and being like, yeah, me too. Y'all, that's not cute. We got to stop that. That's not cool. We need to leave that behind because I'm learning more and more, even in the business and trying to have my own business. I suffer the most when I choose to procrastinate or I allow myself to procrastinate. So I'm not going to beat myself up about it, but I damn sure I'm going to hold myself accountable. And so that's when I think about what I'm leaving behind. I think this year, when we think about again what 2022 represents as balance, I was put on blast, not in horrible ways, but enough for me to see myself. I was able to look in the mirror a little closely and really understand what my issues are and how I bring my own problems into my life. And a big one and a consistent one comes down to procrastination and poor boundaries, which is also kind of procrastination too. So for me, that's what I'm leaving in 2022. And when we talk about the numbers again, 223, right? Still having the essence of balance, but that three, the number three, it's the master number. It's the perfect number, air quote, because that's what you need to build. In order to build something, you need a foundation, you need a side, and you need the other side to make a triangle, right? All these things when we talk about what three means, 33, that's the age of enlightenment, all these different things. So when I'm thinking about what three means for me coming into my 26th year of life, how that even divides down into threes, it's all just for me three. I'm just like I'm living in that three energy, creativity, perseverance. What else is three? Love. I want to just feel that all the time, and I feel like I've seen enough of myself and others and what I am and what I'm not to say, yeah, I can leave procrastination behind. I can leave poor boundaries behind to reach my ultimate goals, which is living in a creative world and acquiring the wealth from that creativity.
Phenomenal.
Days?
For sure, for sure. Resonate with everything you guys said. Definitely align with all of that energy. To add on, I would say that I'm bringing a level of trying to search for the right word. Mastery and prowess are coming to mind. So I'll just use the word professionalism. Just professionalism with my spirituality. Professionalism with just the personal side to execution, obviously beyond when we just talk about what you're doing in the business world and in front of other people, but just that personal professionalism. I'm, having a level of discipline with what I'm doing. Again, just building on that energy of overcoming the temptation to procrastinate.
Yeah.
And just that voice in your head that might want to keep putting something off. And, just again, just really get familiar with coaching yourself. And, you know, like any great coach, they're going to be honest with you. They're going to push you when you need to be pushed, but also they understand, okay, going back to boundaries, like, okay, let me not go too far and, you know, work myself into a fatigue or into a, you know, place where I'm out of commission. And, you know, I literally cannot operate anymore. And you're broken down. So again, you want to, you know, to build muscle, you got to break down and build up to an extent, but also you don't want to get to the point to where you eliminate yourself from an opportunity to pursue your dreams in this life. Uh, so, you know, just also remembering that again, you know, leaving behind is a desire to compare, you know, comparisons, the thief of joy. So, you know, as I'm pursuing things, realizing I don't have to necessarily look to my left and right to, you know, say, oh, where are you at in the race? We're not, you know what I'm saying? We're not racing. It's just more so a level of, okay, I can appreciate you're on the journey. It's like, wow, I'm not alone on this journey. And just kind of really locking in a healthy way, you know, not, you know, putting shackles to this new perspective, but just, you know, really just having a level of focus. Cause they say put your blinders on, but you know, we want to have clear vision. Obviously we want to be blind to the nonsense, to the BS, but at the same time, again, you want to be aware of it. So it's just that again, coming back to that balance, coming back to the actualization. Again, shout out to there being three of us on this call, and it's the divine alignment of us being able to, you know, take a, you know, new step in perspective of just again aligning on an energy and on a frequency where we see the bigger picture. And we understand that again, it's a blessing to have others around you that are on a similar mission, and just being very delicate and, you know, really not taking that for granted. Because I mean, we see it time and time again. Sometimes if you don't have a healthy culture in the team or organization, you can have some of your, you know, leading uh, performers, or, you know, we're going using basketball analogies, two of your best players or a few of your best players, instead of being a big three, they could all have that ego in between them, and, you know, they got to feel like they got to compete against each other. Who's going to score the most points? Who's going to get the shine and the accolades? Who's going to be the MVP? Yeah. You know, but just realizing that, you know, on the best teams, on the healthiest teams, everybody understands that again, when one of us win, we all win, and we're also as strong as our quote unquote weakest link. So, you know, that's just where my energy is coming into 2023, just leaving behind all the overthinking and, you know, bringing in the over delivery, you know, the over execution, you know, in a healthy sense. So yeah, that's where we at with it. You know, definitely, you know, beautiful thing. You know, December 8th, we got, you know, about to be December 9th, so like what, a little less than 22 days, or about 22 more days, 22, 23 more days left in the year.
Yeah, I gotta make it count. 22, 23.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's divine.
2023.
Yes, Lord.
Well, this has been a beautiful conversation. I'm glad that we were able to gather this beautiful full moon night to have this conversation. And, you know, for you tuning in, whether you're tuning in close to the full moon of the end of 2022 or whenever this finds you in divine timing, I hope that your 2022 has been blessed. And I'm wishing you even more blessings and abundance coming into 2023. Once again, you know, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you like. Also, I didn't mention this earlier, but share this with somebody else. Share this with somebody. Maybe share it with 3 people, since we're talking about the beauty of 3. Who are your 3 that, you know, really inspire you and you're building with, and you'd like to have a conversation similar to this with, you know. So again, appreciate all of y'all. Hope you're enjoying this full moon and getting all of the illumination and new beginnings, and you're practicing some beautiful rituals as you close out your year and prepare for another year on the horizon. So thank you again. Hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, rest of your evening, rest of your year, rest of your life, prosperity and abundance. Guys, do y'all have anything you want to say before we close out officially?
Peace and love, man. That's all I got for the people, man. Thank y'all for tuning.
All that. Facts. Noble actions succeed always. We out here.
Yes. Keep having that 2020 vision, y'all. Love you. Thank you for joining. Peace out. Great job, y'all.
Wonderful
Well done.
work. Wonderful work. I'm smoking reefer now.